No one knows what it's like.
In 2 years of his career as one of the biggest drug dealers in U.S. history, Ricky Ross made $500 million, or $500 million conservatively went through his hands. And he was just one of the larger conduits to put it on the street. They only bust the middle-size and small drug dealers. 80+% of illegal drug users only use marijuana. If you decriminalize that, it wounds their phony drug war that the drug cartels controlled by our government are taking over the planet with. If you decriminalize, you shut off the CIA's main funding mechanism and the fake war they're using to take over America. Your comments on that, Ricky Ross?
I got like 10 more minutes. Ricky Ross?
He's got guys talking to him in the background. Ricky.
Yeah.
What would it do to the CIA if we decriminalize drugs?
Oh, man, it would take a big bite out of their budget. You know, they couldn't no longer raise funds that Congress and the rest of the country knows about. You know, with illegal drugs, they can get money that's non-traceable. You know, nobody knows where it comes from. Nobody knows that this person was paid off or that person was paid off. You know, it's just free money.
3 weeks ago, Ron Paul gave a speech documenting that the CIA has had a coup in America and already runs our country.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. I believe that's probably true. I mean, because the people are not standing up, you know, until the people take charge, you know, somebody's going to run it. And, you know, the people with money, you know, that's what they want money for, to run
But
things.
it's so obvious that criminal elements in government made drugs illegal because their alcohol prohibition had ended, and they wanted a new black market to take over with.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And drugs was a perfect venue for that.
And we're now 70-plus years into the drug war, and the bigger the drug war gets, Ricky, the more drugs we got on the street. Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's like this here, Alex. There's no way that they can win this drug war. Drugs, if somebody wants to get high, Alex, they're going to get high. You know, a guy OD'd when I was in the hole at a maximum security prison. A guy OD'd in the hole. He's in a cell by himself, no other inmate contact. How did this happen? How could he be in the hole and OD'd?
The jail guards are selling him the drugs.
Exactly. Somebody's going to get it to him. And usually it's the people of authority.
Which is why they want to keep it illegal. And they want to get 50% of kids, according to the New Freedom Initiative, on Prozac and Ritalin, which are even more dangerous than other narcotics.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean,
and a lot of those
this?
drugs, and it's been proven, too, that children who take those drugs at an early age will be more susceptible to becoming addicted to things like crystal meth, cocaine, crack, and on and on.
Well, it's so obvious. And the government is a bunch of drug-dealing crooks who want to make us all drug addicts. The only thing we can do is decriminalize now. Look at Mexico collapsing, Ricky Ross, because of the drug war.
Exactly. And the drug lords run the country because they have all the money. They're draining all the money out of the economy. And the same thing is happening here in America. I mean, the people, the black market is killing us all the way around.
That's how the British brought down China, was bringing drugs in.
Yeah, nobody wins from a drug war. I'm totally convinced of that. There's no way that anybody wins except the authorities.
The bankers.
And the bankers.
So which are the authority?
They're going to continue to push this makeshift war on us and keep stealing the money out of our education system and all the other places that needs money. They're going to continue to rob them.
Ricky, fire out your website for folks, and we're coming back with 5 final minutes with you. freeway-enterprises.com, freeway-enterprise.com. Ricky Ross is our guest. We'll put his website up on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, so when they're on the web, they'll know the bona fide Ricky Ross website. Really is a pop legend, and we just appreciate that he's here with us fighting the New World Order, exposing the drug war for what it is, because in How Weed Won the West that we're selling at Infowars.com, Kevin went and interviewed street drug dealers that do not want the marijuana dispensaries. They do not want it decriminalized. The ground level drug dealers, not just of marijuana, but other more hardcore drugs, they want to keep it illegal, don't they, Ricky?
Absolutely. I mean, when you start legalizing it, you cut into their money. and they don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying earlier, that 80% of all illegal drug users only smoke marijuana. So if you take all those people and they start going to these illegal dispensaries, then you're destroying the whole market for all sides of the fraud.
And Alex, when you take all that money out of it, you also take the violence out, because most of the violence comes from people trying to rob the people with all the money.
Because it costs so much and they can't legally get it. And this is well known. The British took down China on record by bringing opium in. The government had it illegal. They brought it in, bought off the cities, took over the whole country, and then broke China up in 11 pieces. The globalists are doing this now. CIA got caught in Vietnam bringing in the opium. Ricky Ross, look at Afghanistan. Now it's 13 times the previous record level of heroin pouring out into the world, with the CIA and the Pentagon openly protecting it.
I saw that on the news a few times a couple years ago, how since we went over and took over the country that it's gotten worse. I mean, that's just another example. But now what are we going to do, Alex? Are we just going to sit around, or are our people going to stand up and take the White House back?
Right now here in Los Angeles, they're trying to shut down the 1,000 legal dispensaries we have. They're trying to get it down to like 70 or something, which is going to create this incredible consolidation and make some of the dispensaries are, it's going to drive the price up.
It won't be able to supply the market, and then the illegalness will continue and the crime will continue. Ricky, you're talking about education, too. The hundreds of billions in the fake drug war into education.
Absolutely. I mean, if we educate the people, then they won't need to go out and use drugs. Most people that use drugs are uneducated.
Kevin, you're going to have a screening of How Weed Won the West, which isn't out until the 15th, ships here on DVD at Infowars.com. You are having a viewing. Tell folks real fast.
Right. This is at the Organica dispensary that's actually in the film. It gets busted in the film. And this is on Saturday, February 13th, around 7 p.m. It's in Venice Beach on 13456 Washington Boulevard in Venice. Organica dispensary, February 13th.
All right. And what's worse is, these are legal under state law, but the feds come in and beat them up and smash and then steal the money and the weed, and you never even hear where it went. I mean, the feds are so corrupt, and the locals are doing it now, they just openly keep the money.
Yeah. I mean, it's in your face. That's all you can say. It's
Ricky,
in your face.
last question. From your deep research on this, I mean, and just experiencing it, what percentage of cops, on average, would you say are crooked that are involved in narcotics?
Oh, man, it's so many of them. My whole task force, I took down 35 crooked cops. They were robbing us, planting drugs on us. They came up with a game that if they come in your house and you have a bunch of money, the easiest way to get you not to claim the money is to plant some drugs on you. Because drug dealers had stopped keeping money and drugs in the same house, because they knew that if they didn't have any drugs there, the money was okay.
Yeah, that's something we didn't go into, is the Ricky Ross Task Force, and the fact that some of the guys on the Ricky Ross Task Force are still in jail.
Look, we're out of time, but Ricky, I want to have you back up just to tell some of the incredible war stories and corrupt cop stories that you witnessed. Can we do that in a month or so?
You call me, Alex. Anytime you call me, I'll be there. Wherever it's at, as long as the government let me come. I'm still on parole, so I have to get permission from them to travel. But you call me, and I'm coming.
We're going to have you back on soon. Kevin's back on next week with some other witnesses to the drug war. freeway-enterprise.com. Get How Weed Won the West, an American drug war at Infowars.com. Ricky Ross, Kevin Booth, thank you both for coming on and having the courage to do what you're doing.
Thanks, Alex, for having us, and you keep doing what you're doing. You're fighting a good war. I just hope that your listeners take action, and let's take this country back, and put it back the way it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. God bless you. We'll be right back.